Welcome into the Sports Buffoons podcast.
Yo, let's get it going. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the world, welcome into the Sports Buffoons studios here out of Lenexa, Kansas. I don't know how I got it together to talk. Anyways, guys, we got the full clan together here with a good old show for you today. Yes, we're very giddy and happy, even after a Chiefs loss. We'll talk about that here in a bit, of course, as well as some other NFL-related things. But I know sometimes it's okay. It's okay to not worry about it too much, to just deal with some of your problems and just make it a new day. And you're going to have happier experiences down the road. Don't worry. So with that said, we're going to have a happy experience today on this show, I guess. And we got Tanner Dawson to my right and Jason JG to my left. So how you guys doing?
So what's up?
What do we need to know for the week? What's the new news for your life, man?
You need to know that today is November 20th, and it is National Absurdity Day. So if you guys are out there and you want to say something stupid, now would be the time to do it on National Absurdity Day.
You guys do that
It doesn't
every week.
matter. Nobody's going to take you seriously.
I mean,
just go ahead and say whatever the hell you want, which is exactly what Tanner does every single week on this show.
If you really want me to say something
He
absurd,
lives his entire life like this.
these college football fans out here want me to say something absurd. Okay? These college football fans want me to say, here we go, ruin the Big 12, baby. We beat YU. We're going to go out and beat Colorado this weekend.
The most absurd
Hey,
thing.
At this point, I'm rooting for you, Tanner. I'm rooting for it.
By the way,
I want to see it.
By the way, I don't know if you guys seen. So somebody pointed it out. The top half of the Big 12 are all the teams that KU have played. We have not played anybody in the bottom half. So we're playing all winning teams.
All right.
So, but we're gonna go out there. We upset BYU. We're coming after you, Colorado, and Sanders brothers and coach. We're coming after
I'm
you
looking forward
guys.
to it. At this point, Tanner, even though I'm not a KU fan, I'm still rooting for you guys at this point. Hey, I want to see you guys go do good things. Why not?
Got to win out. Get a bowl game.
All right, JG, what were you fucking talking about?
The most absurd thing that I could ever think about in life is Tanner actually giving somebody advice about college football on this show, and somebody actually
Sorry.
bets on it.
I'm sorry.
Some of our listeners actually bet on it.
I'm
That would
sorry.
be the most absurd thing that I can think
Let
of.
me pop this
On
up
this
real
show.
quick
That
here.
is true.
1, 2, 3.
You're just counting, Tanner? Are we doing, what are we doing?
4,
Sesame Street?
5, 6.
Is this Count Dracula back in the day?
Oh, only 6 losses of college football this year. So I am well over the 60% mark Mike wants us to be for college football. So yes, I hope you are betting on my bets. Starsky, I see you down there, baby. I'll come read your comments in a minute.
Wow. Well, before we get to Starsky's question, what are you guys sipping on for the show?
The National Day explains a lot earlier in the chat.
Oh, yeah? Well, yeah.
I've been sipping on a lot of different things today, but I'm going to have to go sober here. Whenever Bitcoin posts $100,000 per Bitcoin, I'm not going to be drinking for like 6 to 8 months. So right now I drink whatever I want. I've got like a Jack and Coke, but prior to that I had a Manhattan, and prior to that I had a fucking Long Island iced tea. So who cares at this point?
Yeah, for reference, Bitcoin's currently at 94 to 95,000 per coin. So we're only about 5,000 away from hitting that 100K mark.
Yeah.
So I would say by Thanksgiving, there it is.
You got to get serious.
And this show's going to – Tanner's going to be the drunk one that we're going to babysit from here on, I guess.
Pretty much.
So,
I'm down
Dude,
$12
watch it.
now, man. This is ridiculous.
he's down $12 on the crypto for the day.
I keep checking it, man.
I want to rename my fantasy team Bleeding Alts.
Yeah.
I think that's a great name. And basically to make a little saying for the bleeding altcoins going on. Because, Bitcoin's still doing its damn thing, but it's the altcoins that are bleeding at the moment. But then again, also my team has been bleeding itself, currently 5-6, and it's not looking like a good trajectory at the moment. But
I think my favorite thing about our strategy, Mike, is that one day you're going to wake up and it's going to be October and it's going to be time for you to start drinking again, and the NBA is going to be starting again. Like that's something.
Well.
That's something for this
sorry to
guy.
hear that.
You can look forward to that shit. You're going to be sober for so long. You're going to wake up one day and be like, "Oh, I can drink, and it's October, and now the NBA is starting." It's his favorite time of the year.
Hey,
I
you
think
talked about
it'll be
absurdity,
before
right?
that, but
Absurdity? We're talking about Cleveland possibly being a 1-2 seed at this point.
Are they still undefeated, Tanner?
No, the Cleveland Cavaliers lost yesterday.
They did
to the
lose.
Oh, I thought he
Celtics.
was talking about the Browns.
Oh, I knew exactly what you were
talking
thinking.
about the
Browns.
I knew
I knew
exactly
what he
in
was
your
talking
mind.
about. I knew he was
The
talking
Cavs
about.
lost yesterday to the Celtics, so
I didn't
Big news.
think it was that bad of a game. I thought that the Celtics actually looked worse in that game than Cleveland because the Celtics had a 21-point lead, and Cleveland came back, and Darius Garland played a horrific game.
he played horrific.
He was
man.
awful. So there was no reason for Cleveland to be in that game, but yet they made it competitive. And so I thought that Cleveland looked really good, even though they're no longer undefeated.
Yeah.
I thought that they looked better than the Celtics in that game.
They see the Celtics again, I think, in 5 days or something like that. So we'll see that rematch soon.
As we know from our football lives, being undefeated is not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah,
Not-
it's fun.
Not unless you
It's fun.
literally win every game.
Correct.
Which only person I know that ever done that is me. So. Anyways, you guys, that was a old year from long ago, back in 2018, I think. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's all right.
that's about right.
That's all right. Every once in a while, I got to get that little shot out there, just because I'll probably never do it again, and I've never known anyone else that actually has done it. So I like to throw it out there every once in a
That
while.
was back in your youth.
Back-
You
Well,
still,
I-
you
I
still
had
had your youth.
I had a
back
lot
then.
of focus during that time period of my life into fantasy football. I had a lot of free time, so I made sure that I was top notch at all.
And you had a lot of sex back then too, as I recall.
Jeez.
I don't know who it was with, but you did have a lot of sex back then.
Uh,
That probably freed your mind. That actually made you a better fantasy football player, I think. You think it was your own mind and your own skills, but I think it was the fact that you were having a lot more sex probably back then than you ever have before in your whole life.
Probably.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just like, it's something to reflect on.
Yeah. So maybe that's what the key is to having a successful fantasy football season, is to have your
Whammy!
All right, we're gonna move on to a new thing. So, some people, some teams, some players.
The dude needs to start spitting it out, or I'm going to start talking about the Tanner. And I'll
There it
do
is.
talk
There
about
it
the
is.
NBA.
No,
unless
no,
he
no, we're
fucking
not talking about the
opens
NBA today.
Open
goddamn
your
it.
mouth. Open your mouth.
All right.
Here we go.
So, obviously, this past weekend we got to get that off our chest first before we move along to the next week. So, real quick, Chiefs taking their first loss of the season. Clearly, something that I think some people expected. Once I found out the kicker was going to be out, Butker, once we found out Thursday he had a knee injury, that's when I started to get worried. I know last week on the show we all said that Chiefs would win the game, right? Well, once that happened, I felt like, okay, I'm actually leaning more towards the Bills. Well, this game ended up being a 9-point win for the Bills in the end anyway, so it didn't really matter. But I think at the end of the day, we learned a lot about both teams. And one of my favorite things about losses is it actually makes you have to look a little deeper than you do with the wins. The wins are fun and easy. The wins are, you get your win and you just kind of, go to work the next day and you're just like, yep, got another one. Yeah, and you kind of move along with your week, right? With a loss, it makes you think a little bit about, okay, these flaws on our roster are a clear issue. These certain things are a clear issue. I mean, such as the lack of quality pass rush on this team. They've only got 19 sacks this entire season, and that is not a good number, especially with a team who the last 2 years prior have been in the top three.
52 or something like that, 48, 52 last year.
It's dropped way down from before, and they're just not getting home at a good rate. George Karlaftis is not producing at the same rate even he was a year ago, as far as from the pass rush standpoint. And they've been mixing and matching, trying to bring in some guys. Josh Uche got some playing time this past week. Still didn't quite get there home to where we're getting that sack. And it feels like Chris Jones is just like an extra hand away from bringing down a quarterback here and there. And, Josh Allen's tough to get down anyway, of course. But I think that we're starting to really see some flaws, especially in the front four pass rush-wise, and kind of allowing too many gaps, too many avenues for a quarterback to escape the pocket, get free. We saw that also with, keep in mind, Baker Mayfield did a great job of that as well with moving up in the pocket and just not getting enough pressure.
That's insane.
With rushing 4.
You take a look here at the sacks per game for NFL teams, and
It's not good.
We're number 27.
Right.
That's down there in the ranks with Jacksonville, Las Vegas, Cincinnati, Miami,
Cincy's been
Carolina,
terrible.
Atlanta. Like, that's disgusting.
Yeah. No, that is the reason I bring this up, guys, is because it is time to look at flaws a little bit with this team. It's time to point them out and say, hey, how can we fix this? Well, the good news is for the Chiefs, at least, looks like Charles Omenihu's coming up this week.
He's limited practice.
He's going to get a little playing time, I think, if he does play. And, of course, on the other end of things, Isaiah Pacheco looks like he's going to be back soon as well. I hope they really ease him in. I would honestly, in this game coming up against the Panthers, not to get ahead of ourselves, but I'd probably keep him under 10 carries without a doubt in this next game.
We'll get into that for sure.
But, man, the Bills itself, I just felt like it was Josh Allen doing his best work that he's done all year long, because the guy's been great all year long. Remember, the first part of the season wasn't turning the ball over like before. We joked around previous years. I used to call him Josh Cutler, right?
Yes, you did.
Because of the turnovers, the interceptions, the fumbles, everything like that, constantly doing that. And it was like the guy has the upside to be amazing, but the downside is really ugly whenever it does come along.
That's an insult, man, to compare him to Cuddy.
Yeah, it was mainly
That's an insult.
It was mainly
My
to
gosh.
be an ass about it, basically. But obviously, Cutler is a whole different ballgame compared to Josh Allen. But we saw the competition of the number 1 quarterback in the NFL versus the number 2 quarterback in the NFL. And right now, guys, Josh Allen is the number 1 quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, I don't know. Stop.
Absolutely.
C.J. Stroud.
Patrick Mahomes is not playing at his best level by any means. He's missing open receivers. His accuracy's not been on point. He's just his eye level has
Josh
not been
Allen's
the same.
14th in
Guys,
yards passed
Patrick
per
Mahomes,
thrown. Was he just
it used to
popping
feel
it
like
down?
when Patrick Mahomes left the pocket or ran at all, that he was going to make a guy come open somehow. Somebody was going to get open, and he was going to make a play, throw a ball in an area to throw a guy open. And it feels like that's hard to come by this year, And
Nope.
yes,
Top 5 there.
I don't care what anybody thinks right now. Josh Allen has proven himself to be the number 1 quarterback in the NFL.
Nope, not
this
top
point in the
5 there
season.
either. I'm looking for a stat where Josh Allen.
Hold on, aren't you the guy that crowned Ben Roethlisberger to be the MVP when they were like 11-0?
They were 10-0.
years ago.
Thank you very much.
Also, you crowned.
Nope, not top 5 there either.
Don't forget about Sam Darnold. This is
Sam
a Sam
Darnold.
Darnold guy over here.
I'm still looking for
he picks away stats that he thinks fits his narrative then to make himself feel better about that, huh?
longest pass. Nope,
Longest pass?
Will Levis gets that one.
Tanner, that's your stat you need to help justify yourself?
I'm just trying to find anything right now, man. Right now it's Jared Goff. Right now it's Geno's up there apparently in a lot of the stats. I don't know.
Goff is better than Josh Allen.
Goff is
He's
by
a better
far better
passer.
than Josh Allen.
Jared Goff's had an amazing season. He's been amazing.
No.
But, I'm also not going to take away the fact that Josh Allen just went out and beat Patrick Mahomes by 9 points. Should have been 10. But it happened. So
Well,
it was
when
due, man. It was due for this Chiefs team. Come on.
when you
We
throw
have
the
not
when you
played
throw the
well.
game, you're gonna have Josh Allen look good every
Oh,
once
here
in
we
a
go.
while.
Here, completion percentage. No. Jared Goff. Hey, Goff's right there. Man,
Goff.
Did you know that Jared Goff is the best quarterback in the league?
Here's the thing, guys. Goff is not a better quarterback than Josh Allen.
By
okay?
far.
And this is coming from me, right?
He's by far.
This is coming from me.
Now
But,
rushing.
however,
Jared Goff's played amazing.
Jared Goff
Correct.
is having a better season right now than Josh Allen. He's not a better quarterback, but I think if I had a vote for NFL MVP, I would vote for Jared Goff right now.
I would too.
All right.
You're
So
crushing teams.
before you get off on the Goff,
Let's get back to the Chiefs game.
so what are your thoughts? What are your first reactions coming out of this situation? Taking a loss to the Bills in Buffalo, of course, and just kind of what do you think was the turning point in the game? Was it finally the defense giving up 28 or more? Was it finally them not getting that stop that we're used to them making? Because Brian Cook laid a big old hit
He laid
late there towards the end of the game, hoping to be able to draw the ball loose on Khalil Shakir, and it didn't come loose.
and that ball hurt.
And
and
normally
hurt, so.
a hit that hard can draw the ball loose, and it didn't happen. If that happens, it could be a different story, but it didn't happen. So what do you guys think?
I have a very unique perspective on this game because I'm going to give the Bills full credit. Okay, the Buffalo Bills played an amazing game, and this is coming from a Buffalo Bills hater. I'll openly admit that. I do not like that team. They fair and square beat the Chiefs, okay? I'm going to give them full credit for the win. However, when I'm sitting here looking at the box score and I see that you give Travis Kelce 4 targets and DeAndre Hopkins 4 targets, did we really try? Like, if this were a playoff game, do you really think that those guys would have got 4 targets each? I'm not going to buy that. I feel like the Chiefs treated this sort of like a preseason game. I do not believe that the Chiefs ever wanted to go undefeated. I know the fans will probably get pissed off right now and say, oh, yeah, like this, we want this to be the best team ever and blah, 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 and they should have tried to go all in and go undefeated. Like, when I see DeAndre Hopkins and Travis Kelce combined for 8 targets, we did not try to win this game. As good as the Buffalo Bills played, the Chiefs treated this like a preseason game because guess what, guys? That's what it is. This is a preseason game to us. We do not care if the Bills beat us in the regular season. We only care about the end result, which is what always happens, which is like Bills come out on fire in the regular season. They stumble a couple of times in the postseason. And, it's just like the same. I've seen this movie over and over and over again, and I'm getting tired of it. So when I look at this game, it's almost like it's not even real. Like, the fact that the Chiefs lost, I don't care because it doesn't mean anything to me. As a Chiefs fan, it doesn't mean shit. Now, if I were a Bills fan, I would be totally stoked because they played an amazing game. And Josh Allen is having an amazing season. So it means more to me as a Bills fan than it does as a Chiefs fan. But, like, the Chiefs did not play to win this game. And so I'm not giving it – I'm giving the Bills credit, but at the same time, I'm not giving the Chiefs an equal amount of credit for losing the game, if that makes sense.
As a fan of the team, obviously the Chiefs has won 15 games in a row. And so, I mean, it's one of those things where – if we're just used to winning all the time, it gets to where it's like, okay, it's almost
you
too
almost
easy.
Want to lose.
Yeah,
that was
at
my
some
opinion.
Point, we need to feel that again.
I don't want to go undefeated. I wanted to lose again.
It should have been last week, though.
I will say, as a fan, though, losing to the Bills in this game did not affect me whatsoever emotionally.
Oh, no.
To where, in a way, to where I now have this range of, like, feeling a certain way that is different than I felt a week before that. I feel the exact same way about this team now than I did, a month ago, really. So for me, it's like you take something from every loss, but this was a loss I was willing to give up. Without a doubt. I'd rather lose right now to the Bills than beat the Bills and then lose to the Panthers because I would just feel weird about that.
That would be so
that'd be strange, you know what I mean? So, like, to me, it's like we lost to a really good team and at their home, of course, in Buffalo. And so to me, it's like we see this team almost every season in the playoffs. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. And the Chiefs know that too. Andy Reid knows that. Andy Reid game plans for regular season against certain teams differently than he does in the playoffs against certain teams. And it's one of those situations where we know the Chiefs are going to remember this game and take a lot from it. And the playoffs are going to be a little different type of style of team. And to throw this out there, you guys, some news, Hollywood Brown should be back at the end of December. So
he's on pace right now. So
get him involved a little bit with the offense would be nice in practice and see what we can get out of him. But then the other guys coming back from their injuries, of course, is going to be nice. So Pacheco hopefully is 100% by the end of December. And that's what I want. I just don't want to rush him in, is all. But,
yeah.
So what do you think about what I said, Tanner? In terms of we didn't throw the game, but we also were not really trying to win the game.
I wouldn't say we weren't trying to win the game, but it sure seemed like we were trying different stuff, right? We threw Felix in coverage, for God's sakes, which blew my mind at that point. We already have issues with our linebackers. We don't need a defensive line guy going back in coverage, all right?
Hey, there was a game 2 weeks ago we were putting Pennell back in coverage a few times. So, Spags does that kind of stuff, but I think Spags likes to experiment.
You know what that
see what works.
Every time I see that, it just haunts me. Right, haunts me the Justin Houston, Tom Ali days when they went back.
Yeah, well, that was Bob
and,
Sutton, Tanner, and he was a dumbass.
Look, I don't care. You're putting Mike Pennell and freaking Felix out there.
Well, first of all, it was Houston.
That's worse.
Houston on Antonio Brown, 40 yards downfield.
No, yeah,
so.
no, it wouldn't happen like that. But it was just bad, man.
That was Bob Sutton being an idiot.
You can't do that. The guy we're missing the most here, and honestly, it showed. It's been showing the last couple of weeks. Jalen Watson, he's being missed, man.
Guys,
that number 2 corner.
I love Jalen Watson.
Being missed.
The good news is he's also going to be back.
Yes,
according to himself.
We need him.
So
he's.
I've loved Watson since we got him on the roster as a rookie. He's started a lot of games as a rookie from day one.
He's not due to return yet, but
not yet.
He said he'll be back though, which is that'll be huge just in time. But I mean, our secondary is struggling there. We can't get a pass rush anyways going to play, like you talked about too.
Najee Johnson, guys. I mean, so Tanner, you and I have obviously followed his career to this point pretty closely. We were at the torn ACL practice last year in the training camp, and we've obviously heard a lot about the Chiefs' thoughts on him as time's gone on. The reason they kept him, he's a 7th round pick, guy that they loved Najee Johnson as a prospect, and I got to be honest, I've not seen the things out of Najee Johnson that the Chiefs thought they had. I'm not impressed by Najee Johnson.
Him playing corner is not working. Now, the guy, when we watched him last year, pretty sure he was playing safety majority of the time, right?
Which now we have a bunch of safeties.
But now you have a bunch of safeties, so you had to transition a guy that used to play corner back
Jordan
to
Hicks
corner.
is doing a pretty decent job.
He is. And so Najee is, like, you see him struggling. This is the reason why he was playing safety last year, and now you move him back to corner, and he can't match up with these one-on-one guys.
But if I do remember right, Tanner, so last year when we moved to that camp, he was actually working in with the ones as the number 2 corner.
Correct.
In that specific
practice training
he was
camp.
doing that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
something that we took note of during that.
And he performed well, but I want to know, like, how much did that injury affect him though? You know, like, I feel like maybe he's lost a little bit within reaction time and speed and be able to get at it.
I just think ball instincts or something he's lacking. Yeah. Something that I think that I always look at in players. Jalen Watson has great ball instincts. I mean, the guy is just a natural at the position. And that's one of those things that why he's so good for being a late round pick to come in and start from day one as a rookie late round draft pick and end up going to the Super Bowl with us and doing a damn good job all year long. And last year did a great job. And then the beginning of this year doing a great job. Jalen Watson is a great player.
Najee Johnson, though, I mean, he's out there. He is hitting people, right? He was tied in leading the team in combo tackles. He was tied for 2nd in solo tackles. Like, the guy's out there. He's hitting guys when he needs to. But that's because it's being thrown that way.
In the last game?
In the Bills game.
Oh, in the Bills game, okay.
Yeah. He had 8 with Chamari Connor and Drew Tranquill. He had 5 solo tackles.
I thought you said something about in the league. I was like, what?
No. Within the last game here. So, like, he's being targeted. That's the issue here, guys. If he gets targeted, he's going to tackle the guy. They're going to go far, but he also isn't covering that well. We're missing Jalen Watson a ton right here.
And one more guy for us to pick on, I guess, a little bit is why are we seeing a demise of Chamari Connor a little bit, in my opinion? I just really felt like last year he made some great plays as a rookie coming in. I feel like now this year we're seeing him make more mistakes, miss more tackles. He's not that kind of a playmaking ability threat that we thought we saw. Week 1, a huge day.
I mean, he had a pick last week. So,
yeah. Well, my issue is we're seeing a lot of mistakes that are actually costing us a lot of yards.
You think it's being too aggressive? I think that's the case. I think
Maybe
it's being too aggressive.
Maybe so. And I think Chamari's an instinctive guy too.
Now, he led the team in tackles. So,
yeah, I mean, he's around the ball. I'm just saying.
He also had a tackle for loss and a QB hit. Like, the guy's being aggressive.
The numbers look good.
Numbers look great.
I'm saying the mistakes when they do happen are costly.
I think it's what the numbers are saying and what you're seeing on the field. It's being too aggressive. I think the guy's flying around, but I think it's flying around without being aware. And I think that's your issue. I really do. I think if Chamari Connor would maybe be more aware of the play scheme stuff coming on instead of going for the hit or going for the interception or whatever it is, I think you'd see maybe that back to what we saw the first few weeks.
Yeah.
I think
that
just flying around.
Here, maybe come January, maybe we'll see a different side of Chamari that here in November we're seeing currently. So, guys, the NFL changes quick, man. I mean, things change fast in the NFL, and you could see a guy one day make a bunch of mistakes, and then a guy in 3 weeks just all of a sudden blow up and have a huge day. So
I mean, we saw a lot of exposure too on the offensive side, offensive line, our tackles, man.
It's a problem.
God.
You're kind of stuck with it though.
You are.
You're kind of stuck with what we got.
They had not Samaje,
The current
Kingsley inactive, I believe, right?
and the Mahomes sack rate this season is at 6%.
Yes.
Which is as high as it's ever been in his career. And part of that is Mahomes. Mahomes not seeing the field well.
Yep.
Mahomes just not being himself this season more than any other season before this. And part of it is also the tackles being a problem, especially the left tackle side.
Yeah.
Throughout this whole time. So something that needs to be figured out, obviously, and that's why it's great to have some losses here and there. Is like normally on a week when we go out and get a win, we don't sit there and analyze some of the weaknesses of the roster, right? Because we're just like, well, we got another win. We got another win. We'll move along and boom, 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 go to the next thing, right? No, when we get a loss, it's like, okay, now we can reevaluate some things and think about some things that need to be worked on, such as the fact that I love the work that Kareem Hunt's done this season as a running back for the Chiefs, but his 3.6 yards per carry isn't going to cut it compared to what Pacheco is going to give us whenever he comes back. Put him at 4.6. That 1 yard difference will be big at certain times of a game, right? And
I think,
but the combo together is going to be fun to watch.
The combo again,
It's gonna be nice.
like you said, when you have another guy that can get those kind of yards, it's gonna be fine. Like it's just Kareem right now,
right? It's been that way, since he came along.
That's why the numbers are what they are average wise.
I'm just saying, like it's easy to then look and nitpick some issues with the roster.
Kareem's. I'm not worried about that 3.6. That's the lamest number I've heard of.
That's one of my favorite things about Mahomes and Andy Reid is that, like, even when they're winning a bunch of games, they know that they actually suck, and they'll call it out and try to improve.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between a good coach and a bad coach, a good quarterback and a bad quarterback is like you're trying to make improvements during games when you're winning, when you won games, but you actually played like shit. Like, and that's why I like Mahomes and Andy Reid in terms of their self-awareness.
Yeah.
Can we give one positive here? Something that's been going on for the last few weeks here. We finally saw a little better connection, a little bit better, just awareness here. Xavier Worthy coming in with some nice grabs here. 5 targets, 4 receptions, 61 yards, and a tutty. A 31's longest too. Like, I love that they're giving Worthy the opportunities, and it looks like Mahomes looked a lot better with him this week than the last couple of weeks there, on a couple of bad missed throws there. So. And now,
it was good to see him get involved early. At least
there was some radio host local that was blaming Worthy for a couple of these missed throws down the field the last couple of games, when we know he was like 4 or 5 yards out of bounds with that throw. So
this one in this past game, Worthy could have got his feet down. It wasn't the best throw by any means, but Worthy should have gotten his feet down. What he did was he thought most about his feet before the catch, and he was trying to get his feet down before the ball arrived. And so what ended up happening was he did touch both feet, but one foot was already off the ground by the time the ball was there. But the only thing with Worthy for this past game, I loved the early action with him, and there did seem to be some in sync, without a doubt, together. Yep. But after that first quarter, it went away really fast. So it was literally all in that first, like almost all in one drive when that happened. And hopefully we could see more of that spread out throughout a game.
I think you will. I think you see a lot here in Carolina too. And then Noah Gray, big props to him, man. He's
amazing.
He is playing phenomenal. He only had 23 yards, sure, but he had 2 touchdowns.
Noah Gray is amazing.
4 receptions on 5 targets. The guy's beating secondary guys as a tight end. This is like, I don't want to say Travis Kelce-esque, but like we're seeing great routes from this. From
Noah Gray, totally different style of tight end, obviously, but he's my favorite tight end too since Jason Dunn. Mm-hmm. And obviously Jason Dunn was a completely different style.
We love Jason Dunn.
But he's my favorite tight end too since Jason Dunn. And Noah Gray has been awesome since he got here. The guy's hands are incredible. He's a smart player, great route runner. Man, I'm glad we've held on to him to this point.
Definitely. Let's look at here some comments here real quick. Flint Eastwood said, "Damn, JG's speaking the truth on the low targets." We got that's so weird. All right. Scott Cobe out here. Good evening, Buffoons. Are you getting excited?
What up, Scott?
Are you getting excited for Tommy Cutlets versus Trey Lance next week?
Oh, God.
He also states we need Sports Buffoons show live from the stadium next Friday, Black Friday. game next week, guys.
Live from the stadium. Are you going to the game?
No, I'm not.
He's
say,
been banned. He's been banned for too many stadiums.
My parents are
already.
in town. I'm not
I
going to the
gotta
game.
work. I got to work.
I'm going to do live.
Scott Cope said people need to chill. Sunday was a rite of passage of the Bills-KC rivalry. Buffalo wins in the regular season. KC wins in the postseason. It'll happen again next year. That's right, buddy.
That's how it goes.
That's right. Yeah, Streamlabs. Don't worry about Streamlabs.
Streamlabs?
Yeah, they're trying to block Scott.
Streamlabs, you suck ass.
Tanner, why don't you just tell me how many stadiums you've been banned from in the state of Wisconsin?
I got 0 stadiums.
That's a different topic for a different day.
Different
Zero.
topic, different day,
We
man.
gotta
0.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk
I'm not
about
allowed
that.
to. I'm not allowed to talk
No,
about
it
that.
is
bro.
0.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
I
discuss
think
that at
you're
a different time.
confused. I think
All
you're
right.
confused.
We'll discuss that a different day.
Scott, stay tuned, man. We'll get back to that.
We'll get back to that eventually here.
We'll get back
All
to
right.
that.
So-
We'll get back to the bath towels on another day.
Ooh, bath towels.
You know he loves his updates.
How many? So, guys, current bath towel at the moment. What how many days are
We
you on?
can't divert from the freaking topic. We're talking Chiefs.
Just give me just a number real quick, and then we move on.
What are you talking about?
I just want to know what number are you on? How many days for the bath towel? How many days?
He's just
Oh,
drunk.
1.
He's drunk.
One.
Tell him what he wants.
What are you
to
on?
do.
How many days?
My towel. I actually use a brown Tathbal.
I know that, but how many days are you on that?
Did I just say Tathbal? I meant bath towel.
How many days?
I said Tathbal. Did I say Tathbal or bath towel?
All right, never mind.
I said Tathbowel. No, my bath towel is brown, so I don't have to keep track of it anymore, man.
All right,
It's the same color as my shit.
I'm on day 4, mine. So here we are. So since I got back from that,
Oh, yeah.
so yeah, it's been the same one since.
There
so.
you go.
I even used the hot tub and used the same towel for the hot tub as I did after the shower. You think that's okay?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I don't know, man. Hot tub has got weird other chemicals and stuff.
So why don't you take a
I'm
shower,
gonna
you
switch back to white though here in a couple of months, so stay tuned. I'll let you know how that goes.
Okay,
We'll get back. We'll have to get back in this. All right. So, moving back along, Tanner. How do we get bigger letters? How do we get bigger letters over there for everyone to
Oh,
see?
my
But
gosh.
I mean, it's fine. If it's nothing important, I don't know. But anyways, guys, want to move on to Chiefs Panthers discussion.
Chiefs, Panthers.
Chiefs Panthers. So, Tanner, you got the injury report. You're gonna have to be the one to pull that up for us and give us the rundown. The rub down? Give us the rub down, Tanner.
The rub down.
Give us the
All
rub
right.
down of the end of the report.
Let's take a look here. Chiefs, Panthers injury report here for week 12 here. Kansas City Chiefs injury report. We got Chamari Connor there with a thumb injury, but looks like he was full practice today. Brian Cook was full practice today with ribs. Kareem Hunt was full practice today with a knee. Juju was full practice with a hamstring. And we got a couple guys on IR with limited practice there. Isaiah Pacheco, as we already talked about, and Charles Omenihu as well. So, I'd be shocked to see these guys this week, but I'd be really cool to we'll probably see them for Black Friday game. The Carolina Panthers here, injury report, a pretty extensive list. So let's go over the DNPs and the LPs. Miles Sanders, DNP. Jadeveon Clowney, DNP. The guard, Damian Lewis, it's just an illness, but he did not practice. Ashawn Robinson was a rest day, did not practice. Your LPs here, J.C. Horn is a big name there. Adam Thielen, who just got activated, is a limited practice there on a hamstring. Xavier Woods as well. DJ Johnson with a concussion. And Jonathan Brooks was a full practice, ladies and
Yeah, it'll
gentlemen.
be his first game playing.
We might see a Jonathan Brooks debut here.
Yeah, it should be Jonathan Brooks' NFL debut. We'll see how many attempts and carries and touches he gets, obviously. But
That's your injury report for week 12.
yeah, all right. Well, what stands out to you? I mean, Ashawn Robinson's been a guy that's been around for a long time, and he's going to be playing from the sounds of it. But I know the Panthers guys are a struggling team. Of course, this game should be easily handled. I would say
If
the
we're going to
Chiefs
have a blowout, this
Chiefs
should
are-
be a Dame
The
blowout.
Chiefs are favored by more than 10 points in this game.
minus 11.
Right. At DraftKings, you can get a 10.5 if you want.
Yes.
But, still, anyways, what do you look at in this game, roster to roster, that would make you concerned, other than the fact that you hope the Chiefs aren't overlooking anything? I mean, you got
That's the
Panthers
issue.
this week. You got the Raiders after that on Black Friday.
I'm a little scared on the whole overlooking, want to get cute early and really let them in. Bryce Young actually hasn't been playing that bad a ball since he came back as a starter. And But is Adam Thielen returning? I don't know what that means for anything there.
I got a quick question for you, Tanner.
What?
Was the last true Chiefs blowout last year against the Chicago Bears?
Yes, it was. Like you were talking like 20-plus point blowout?
Or just go out there and you were dominating from the first snap.
Correct.
What month?
Yeah.
Tell me what month that was in.
That was last
October.
October. Yeah.
Last October, over a year ago
It was
now.
Justin Fields and all that there, and they were on the already.
So-
Time ago. That was a long freaking time
Look,
ago, dude.
You think this is the next chance for a blowout?
This is the game for the blowout.
And if we were to do
Plain
one,
and simple.
obviously, but
Like if you're gonna blow anybody out the rest of the year, this is your one game.
is this so Jason, you always use the word get right. This isn't a get right game, right? This is just a game where you got to go take care of business. I mean, shoot, I don't know how else to explain this one. I will say this: some of the names, if you guys look down the roster of the Panthers defense, it's a bunch of names that used to be like really good players in this league. Like they got Jadeveon Clowney, Josie Jewell from Denver. If you guys remember him, the guy intercepts Mahomes every time he plays him. It seems like. You had Mike Jackson, Xavier Woods, Jordan Fuller, J.C. Horn, of course. There's some guys, of course. Ashawn Robinson, as you mentioned. Just some guys that stood out. There's Shai Tuttle, who's been around a little bit now. So some of those names kind of stand out to me. It's kind of funny to see these guys. When you go to Carolina, you kind of forget about some of these players, don't you?
Yeah, you kind of do. Dane Jackson's on there as
Dane
well.
Cook?
What?
No, I'm just joking. No.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys here where you don't think about them being on a team like that.
I assume so. One good thing about this game for the Chiefs defense, especially, is that Panthers going to come out probably running the ball.
Chuba's going to get the rock.
Chuba Hubbard's going to get the rock. They're going to give some Jonathan Brooks, and then Miles Sanders. What's up with him? I don't know.
He did not practice. He's not playing. He's not playing this game. So your third guy you're going to see here on this team is.
They should be trying to hand the ball off for 25, 30 times, and they're facing a really good run defense.
Is Raheem Blackshear from Virginia Tech.
So
he played with the Bills last year. So he'll be your third running back. So yeah, it shouldn't be a big deal there. I mean, really, you contain Chuba, you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Oh, David Moore is on that team. I didn't know that.
I think it's going to be a boring game. I mean, I know you guys are talking about like, oh, this is the one where we're going to blow them out.
We got to blow them out.
I think of this more like
if we sit here with a 7-point win, this is despicable.
I think of this more like the trap game, like
really?
when we play Indianapolis.
Jesus.
and nobody gives a shit because honestly, guys, come on, nobody respects Carolina. The players don't respect Carolina. The fans don't respect Carolina. They suck. And everybody knows they suck. I don't think this is going to be your breakout game. They are favored by 11, but I feel like this is going to be a long, boring game where, like as you guys said, Carolina's going to try to run the ball. I do believe that Kansas City will win, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. I don't think that Mahomes, they always try to put up this front like, oh, that's a great team, and we respect them. Nobody in their right mind respects Carolina. The players don't respect Carolina. Me as a fan, I do not respect Carolina. That team sucks. And so I think this game is going to be a little bit closer than we all think. Chiefs are going to win.
Ridiculous.
I'm going to give you guys we'll do our scores a little bit later. But my gosh, I mean, this is like your fall asleep game for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think it would be a little boring for sure. Unless, I don't know. I feel a little bit different about that. I feel like the Chiefs do end up making it look pretty easy. If anything, there's a backdoor cover is always the option. But, like, in general, I think the Chiefs win this by 3 scores or more.
We should win this thing by 3 scores or more. If we don't win this thing by over 2 touchdowns, like over 17 points, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
If we're
I think they got to go out there and dominate.
If we're a contender at 9-1, right, sitting on the throne here at first place, we can't not win a game outside of 7 points, 10 points, or whatever it is right now. This is the game. We got to blow these guys out. Plain and simple.
So none of us actually trust the Chiefs to cover, right? So is this the game?
No, I am trusting.
Is this the
Chiefs.
game where you're going to say, okay, yeah, they're going to cover
Yeah.
this?
They
I
should.
think they do cover.
Okay.
Actually, as crazy as that sounds.
Honestly-
I could go honestly, guys.
they should double
I
it.
could go either way on this shit. I don't think they're going to cover, but I could see it going either way.
I will have legit concern next week when we meet before the Black Friday game going against the Raiders, right? Yeah, against the Raiders. If we do not cover this game,
All right.
I will legit sit here and have concerns.
All right, guys. Well, what are your score predictions then?
So I've got 24-14, which would not be covering. I have the over/under at 43, so that would put me at 37. So I guess I'm taking the under here. I don't believe that the Chiefs really feel like they lost a game this year. Technically, on paper, they lost to the Bills. I don't think they're really feeling that loss right now, and so I think they're not necessarily going to take this game as seriously as you think. They're not going to put these guys away.
Okay. What do you got, Tanner?
Over under 42.5 is what I got. ESPN bet here and -11. That's what I'm going off of. I think we covered this thing. I'm going 33 to 10. 33 to 10.
33 to 10. I'm thinking somewhere along those lines as well. This thing could be close, but I really just don't think it should be by any means. So for me, I'm going to go 31 to 7 Chiefs. I think defensively, they're going to get a couple turnovers. They're going to stop the run, which is the only thing Carolina can do at this point. And offensively, I think they can take advantage of the fact they're facing a weaker team. So to put up some numbers for Worthy and, just get some of those guys more involved
I hope I see a big game from D-Hop.
Yeah, maybe. Then again, you don't want to waste them by any means. But
what are we wasting? What are we wasting?
I get
Throwing 8 receptions at him? Come on.
No, I get you.
You got to do something here. We have Scott out here says the Panthers have a young, very athletic tight end, Jatavian Sanders. He's in the mold of Isaiah Likely style. I love Sanders in the way he's playing here.
Yeah, Sanders.
Yeah, and then Flynn Eastwood said Andy is a classic coach and doesn't do blowouts. Well, that's ridiculous. Plain and simple.
Tanner, we've literally been Chiefs fans throughout the entire
I
Andy
know,
Reid
and I'm
era.
getting sick of this.
We know how this works.
I love you winning games, but damn it, give me a 14-point win.
He likes to keep games close for some reason. That's his thing. He does. It's one of those things like those are the moments where I wish we had Belichick's mindset, where he was just all about kill mode.
Yes.
Like Belichick didn't give a crap what the score was. Score more, score more, score more. And I'll never forget that one game. He ran up the score. I think it was on the Dolphins maybe back in the day, but I mean, it was ugly, man. It was in the snow, I think, and the Patriots were just destroying the Dolphins. I mean, it was horrible. I think halftime score was Patriots had something in the 40s. But that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I love the kill mode type of coach who doesn't care if you're his friend or not. So
it gets really annoying when you're up like 21-7 and you win 21-17.
I mean, we know Andy Reid by now.
It is.
Hey, we love Andy Reid. It's one of those gives and takes.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like
No.
We'll take Andy Reid, of course, every single day of the week, but we got to give up the fact that we're going to keep the score close just for the hell of it.
We'll get our
He's
one
afraid, man.
blowout a year.
He's afraid. He's afraid that if you give one of our top players 1 extra rep or 2 extra reps, that guy's going to get injured, and then it's all going to fall on Andy Reid. And
play calling.
I disagree with it, but I firmly believe that that's where his mindset is at. He should just keep it close, give as few reps as possible to my star players, and hope that they don't get injured. He's
got the old school West Coast offense philosophy, which is pass the ball to get a lead, run the ball to keep the lead.
Yeah.
And that's the traditional old school mentality of the West Coast offense.
Yeah.
And, it works. Pass the ball, get a lead, run it.
Absolutely.
But you can't literally just get away entirely from that. You got to have some balance there between those things.
You got to have some kill mentality.
And you
want to kill the other team.
Screw it. If you go into halftime and you're up 14 points, coming out of halftime, don't run the ball 7 times in a row and think that this is going to be okay and that's what we should do the rest of the game. Come out and go kill mode, man. I'd throw the first play of the second half, chuck it up to Worthy for 50 yards,
Yep, exactly.
But Andy Reid will never do that. He never has, never will. It is what it is, man. But then again, good coaches can take advantage of that.
They can.
They know that about Andy Reid. So
good quarterbacks too.
Talk about your Sixers a little bit later, Tanner.
Yeah,
you should bring that
freaking
up.
Bogus, man.
You should bring it up, man. It's a big topic today.
I don't know if I said
the news cycle.
I got Chiefs 31-7. I can't remember if I said that or not.
No, you didn't.
31-7.
31-7 is my score.
So you and I agree on the under. He is right at 43. He did exactly
on the
43.
I'm on 42. Yeah.
on the money on that one. Okay.
Yeah, right at 42. So.
All right, guys.
Well, I still got the under.
Other than it being National Peanut Butter Fudge Day, what do you guys else have in mind?
I mean, are we going to talk about back
National.
to the topic?
We already talked about National Absurdity Day, which is
Yeah, we mentioned that.
we could talk about divisional football.
Should we talk about
what's the most absurd thing we can say in terms of the Bills? Who's the biggest shell? Like, who's the best team? Like, take out the
who
Chiefs.
is the best team?
Take out the Chiefs. Who's the
in
best
the
team?
AFC though.
Let's
right?
just pretend that the Chiefs don't exist. Who's the best team in the AFC?
Well, there's only one team that's beat them in the last 16 games. So we could talk about that team if you want again. We already did, but otherwise,
I mean,
Tanner, are you getting worried about the Broncos? You
no,
getting worried?
I'm not getting worried about the Broncos.
About getting worried about the Chargers? They're 7 wins.
No, I'm not getting worried about the Chargers, guys.
Hold on, the AFC, you got Chargers, Steelers. That's your team.
Oh,
I knew it.
yeah.
I knew
you
it.
knew it's coming, baby.
Steelers.
Ooh, he loves
Look,
the Steelers,
these-
doesn't
What's
he?
up about the Steelers?
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's look at here, right? We got Buffalo. Yeah, sure. Third best in the league in team points per game. Congratulations, guys. You guys are doing phenomenal. But there's a reason why the Steelers team hasn't beaten the Ravens. They've beaten a couple other teams that, damn it, they should have lost. They went through a quarterback change, 4 or 5 games in, of being 4 or 5-0. Tomlin's playing the hell with trades and stuff here. You have 2 bum running backs with Najee and Jalen Warren can't stay healthy. But yet we're sitting here with the 2-loss Steelers team and one of the best defenses out there here. Your average time of possession on this offense is the whole reason why this defense is allowed to do the work they do. It's third best in the league, just behind San Francisco and Houston at 32 minutes and 37 seconds a game. Okay, this Steelers team, if that defense or that offense can just keep them off the field in these games, it's over, man. It's over for Buffalo. It's over for the Chiefs. It's over for the Ravens. It's over for any hell team you want in the AFC. I'm telling you right now, I've been nothing. I've taken them lightly. Opponents points per game, 16.2, second best of the Chargers. By the way, everything I look here in the defensive stats, all I see is Pittsburgh. I don't see Buffalo in there. Do you? You need to look to my notebook here because I don't see.
What do you not see,
I don't see
Tanner?
Buffalo in the defensive stats. Are they in there?
Defensive
No,
stats for Buffalo?
I don't see
Oh, maybe I'm
Buffalo
just
in
not
there.
scrolling
What do you
down
need to
far
see?
enough. I want to see opponents' points per completion. The rushing.
I think
yards
you're
per
making
game.
a mistake
Opponents'
because
yards per game.
they're pretty much the best team
Giveaway.
in the league, aren't they?
Who?
The Bills. You must have made a mistake
No,
there.
the Bills.
I think
are
they're the
not.
best team in the league.
The Bills are a good team. Yeah, like they can play ball with you and compete.
I agree with you on the Steelers. I feel like the Steelers are going to be one of those teams where I don't care if they're the 2 seed or the 7 seed. That is the team that everybody does not
wanna
want to play. They would rather put a bullet in their brain than to have to play that team. And so I like what the Steelers are doing this year. I totally respect them. But right now, they're better than the Ravens. They're the best team in that division. So in terms of
Starsky.
in terms of who I think the best team in the AFC is, besides the Chiefs, man, we've been talking about this for weeks now, man. You guys know I'm rolling with Houston. They're 7-4. Everybody talks shit on them because of how horrific they are. What a shitty team that is. CJ Stroud is a horrible fucking quarterback. But I'm still gonna roll. I'm still gonna roll with the Texans, man. To me,
Go for
that's
it,
the
dude.
biggest. That is the biggest threat
That is not the
to the
biggest
Chiefs
threat, dude.
right now because we all know
Texans.
we've
are
seen
not.
this. I told you guys this earlier. We've seen this movie before. If you pair up the Bills against the Chiefs, we all know who's going to win. If you pair up the Bengals with the Chiefs, we all know who's going to win. Steelers, they'll probably beat everybody else, but they're not going to be the Chiefs. Ravens are going to be the Chiefs. Houston is that up-and-coming team that I would actually fear. If I had to play a game against them, I would respect the Houston Texans more than I would respect any other team in the NFC because I'm just not if I'm a Chiefs fan, which I am, I'm not. There's no fear. There's no fear against any of those other teams. But I do fear C.J. Stroud.
I do
and I
not
do
fear that. Oh,
I do fear a scenario where they get hot at the right time and Nico Collins just fucking explodes in a game for no reason.
Yeah,
I know that pisses you guys off. But they did beat the Bills. Okay, you guys give me so much shit for being, I'm like the token. What do you want to call me? The token Houston fan. After I was a Chiefs fan.
Diggs when that happened.
That's fine.
Just so you know,
They did.
But they did. But you hate Stephon Diggs. So why would you even make that argument? That doesn't make any freaking sense.
I hate Stephon Diggs. I have his rookie
You
card.
hate Stephon Diggs.
I love Stephon Diggs.
So I'm like, if you guys give the Bills that much credit, you guys give the Bills that much credit.
On my fantasy team. Now he's out for the year.
You guys give the Bills that much credit, who got throttled by the Ravens, who got beat by the Houston Texans. Okay, well, if you give the Bills that much credit, then you should probably give the Houston Texans a little bit of credit as we move forward into the playoffs, because they're going to be a dangerous team.
We're talking
and I've been telling you guys this for I don't know how long. I've been telling you guys in the preseason.
No, you're talking about the
But
Houston
all you guys
Texans.
like to do, let's just make fun of JG. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
The Houston Texans.
Houston freaking sucks.
Beat
I don't
the
give
Colts
him any credit.
not only by 2, but then by 3 later in the season. That beat the Bears by 6. That lost to the Vikings 34-7. Beat the Bills. Congratulations.
But you would agree. You would agree with me, right? That the AFC, when you take out the Chiefs, is wide open. Like anybody.
You have a 3-team race. For 1 seed.
Any of those teams can be the number 1 contender to beat the Chiefs.
You got a 3-team race. So I think.
But you're not putting Houston in there.
I am not putting Houston.
You're not putting Houston in there.
No.
They're in first place in their division, and you think they suck.
They have the Colts, the Titans, and the what's the other team? Oh yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars. No, I am not putting them in the conversation.
I've seen that movie before.
Are you
too.
kidding me?
How many years did we watch Tom Brady and the Patriots be in a shitty division where they just pummeled everybody?
Well, Josh Allen's in the shitty division.
So
too.
would you make that same argument back in the day when the Patriots would destroy that division, that they were a shitty team?
Well, they proved it back then, so I wouldn't. That didn't matter to me.
I'm just saying, like, you guys are way too quick to write off the Texans.
I like
way
to talk
too fast.
Last week of January, our New Year's show, I would like to see where we're at with the Texans, right? Because they got the Titans, sure, they got the Jaguars, sure, but then they got the Dolphins, Chiefs, and Ravens back to back to back. I want to see where they're at leading up to the Titans game.
So this guy told me earlier in the evening that I think it was Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Jamar Chase is.
I think you and I had a conversation before that
stats-wise, at least right now.
You agreed with me.
Stats.
You agreed with me earlier in the year that Nico Collins was kind of like neck and neck in that discussion.
Nico Collins is top 5
with Justin Jefferson.
No, I think it's Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and then you could throw another name out.
So do you not think that you don't think that Nico Collins moves the needle in terms of who could be a contender at the end of the year with the Chiefs? Like,
I mean, it's going to help.
Could take out the Chiefs.
It's definitely going to help them win, but no, I don't feel like one certain receiver like that. I mean, look what Jamar Chase did against us.
I think the Texans do play the Chiefs in the playoffs this year, but they are not the team I fear by any means. They're not a team I think that can take out the Chiefs or knock them off or anything like that.
What Tank Dell, who gets injured every 3 games, he's not a threat. I mean, there's nobody else really on the roster.
If they still had 100% Diggs, maybe Tank Dell, whatever, 100%, and all that, then it helps. But like,
I'm just saying, I don't feel the Bills at all, and I know you guys have a different feeling about that, but. Look, I am not afraid of them
I did happen to, by the way, find Tanner's magical stat because he seemed to be searching so hard to find where the Bills top 5 in anything. Well, guess what, man? Turnover ratio plus 14, number 1 in the NFL, and that's why right now they are the number 1 contender to the Chiefs.
Turnover ratio. Oh, I get giveaways per game.
No.
So.
Well, turnover ratio, Tanner. That's how you turnover differential. Is that how we say it for you?
That's fine.
Okay, that's what the Bills are great at because they don't turn the ball over much.
Yeah.
And defensively, they've been opportunistic, forcing fumbles, creating interceptions, creating playmaking plays that way defensively, just like they did against the Chiefs, by the way. So that is where the tide turns in the Bills' favor and why they are a team to be worried about.
One simple stat.
You don't understand how big of a deal it is to create a turnover in a game. And what that means, especially in a game
do that daily.
against top teams.
Yes.
When you do that against top teams, especially going into playoffs.
Hey, are we going to have fun with this one here?
Hey, man.
No, Tanner, you're not going to make
Dude.
fun of turnover ratio. It's literally the most important stat you can have in football is the turnover ratio. I'm serious.
I'm looking real quick.
Like
here.
the Chiefs have been an anomaly in past years.
I told you guys
where they've made it to where they've made it
okay.
with the turnover
I
ratio.
told
they've
you
had.
guys I give the Bills full credit for beating the Chiefs, but you also know you know what else I give them credit for? Losing to the Houston Texans. And so I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment.
They also lost
because
to the
I believe
Ravens.
that Houston is a good team this
They
year.
are.
You guys don't.
No, you're not.
You guys
you're not
don't.
understanding. I've never once said Houston's not a good team. I'm saying
You
the
guys
number
have
one,
given me shit all year long
because we're
and
talking about
saying that-
number one contender to the Chiefs. That
They're
was the
not a
question.
number one contender to the Chiefs.
That was the question.
They're
guys.
gonna make the playoffs.
That was the question like 3 weeks ago. Was number one contender. The Texans are a good team. I like the Texans. I think they're not ready yet. I think the Texans are a top 4 AFC team.
But you put the Bills as the
Jeez.
number one contender who lost to the freaking Texans.
Correct.
And the Ravens.
Correct.
Okay.
So then should we say the Bills are number one in the AFC then? Because
I
they
think
beat
it-
the Chiefs?
I
No,
just-
it doesn't work
No.
that way.
The
It
point
doesn't
that
work
I'm,
that way.
Why would that be?
The
The
point.
the point
Doesn't
that
work
I'm
way.
trying to make is like if you throw those teams into the mix, like it's more even than you think. It's not as definitive as you guys think.
No.
You can't just say, "Oh
But-
my God!"
but I'm not gonna sit
"Oh,
here
the
and-
Bills are
and
so much better than the Texans."
I'm not going to willy
No,
wash
they're
your
not.
ass. I'm not going to willy wash your ass and say, well, it could be the Texans, it could be the Steelers, it could be, and
They're
this
all
be
the
one of these
same.
turds that sits there and goes, oh,
Dude,
no, it could be this, it could be
it's
that.
all the
No,
same,
I'm
dude.
giving you a definitive answer.
It's all
the
the
Buffalo
freaking
Bills,
same.
the number one contender to the Chiefs, and who has been proven right so far? Me. Both of you fucks have been wrong.
Because they beat them. Yeah. Good job.
Thank you.
We're gonna find out till
Thank you.
December what?
He didn't
25th,
prove shit.
6th,
He didn't
whatever,
prove shit,
29th.
To this point, I've been
to this
proven right
point,
about
Steelers
what I
still
said.
play the Chiefs later. The Houston
And
Texans.
you guys are
play the
still
Chiefs
arguing
later.
with your own assholes.
So by his definition, then Houston is the best team in the AFC because the Buffalo's better than the Chiefs. Listen to me.
Stupid shit.
Buffalo's better than the Chiefs, right? He just
No.
said that right now. So which means Houston is better than
That's not how this works.
Buffalo. And Baltimore is
Don't
better.
be a dumbass.
Listen to me. Baltimore's better than Houston because they beat Buffalo by more. They pummeled the Buffalo Bills. So by his
You're
definition,
going to play this game all fucking day, huh?
by his definition,
Huh? Is that what
Baltimore
we're doing on this?
Baltimore's the best team in the league.
Is that what we
because
do here?
The Chiefs got lucky, and they should have beat the Chiefs. Got lucky because Baltimore technically beat the Chiefs, except that the
They
guy
technically beat
they-
the Chiefs.
The
bet,
the
Scott.
guy's toe was out of bounds.
Yeah, I
So-
like that bet, Scott.
By your definition, the Baltimore Ravens are the best team in the AFC.
Hey, whatever makes you sleep at night, man. Whatever makes you feel
I don't
better
need
about
anything.
it. Whatever makes you
tell
feel
you,
better about the situation.
They're all even.
Go
man.
for it.
They're all even. The Steelers are just
okay,
as good.
but here's
We
the
could
thing.
sit there
We're
and
all
you guys-
referring back to the original question 3 goddamn weeks ago.
We all go round
Who's the
and
number
round
one
and
contender?
round.
I did not ask you guys to sit here and go, well, they're all even. No, I said, give me a fucking answer. Give me a fucking answer.
gave you an
I have a
answer.
fucking answer.
I gave you an
Yeah, you
answer.
said the goddamn Browns, you turd.
That was the first week.
Oh, now okay.
And I actually said Ravens. And
now
I said
hold
also
that
root
thought.
For the Browns.
Hold that thought. We haven't got into the Browns
I also
yet.
said the Browns.
Don't talk about the Browns.
The Browns are
There's-
2-8.
There's
Don't
nothing
talk
to
about the
talk
Browns.
about the Browns right now. It's
They're
dead.
gonna,
Squash
no,
it.
They're going to
Tanner,
come
what do you
back.
mean?
They
No,
lost
no,
it
no,
that
no,
next
no, no.
week.
The team you had to beat the Chiefs, maybe?
They lost it
Contend-
that next week.
Oh, darn.
No, Cleveland Browns.
I told you this already.
I
It's
should have
squashed.
told you to shut your goddamn mouth.
No,
So
I
it's
said
stupid.
I said the Ravens.
Don't be stupid.
Ravens.
What have the Ravens
Cle-
been doing? Ravens
The
now?
Cleveland
Ravens
Browns.
shitting their balls to the Steelers.
Hey, Cleveland Browns are going to go on a run.
Oh, God.
They're going to go on a run. They're going
Stop
to get
right
back
now.
to 500.
They just lost to the Saints, dude. It's over.
No, they're going to go on a run.
Bury the hatchet, man.
The Cleveland Browns are not done.
No.
That's going to be a
Stop.
competitive division till the bitter end.
Jesus Christ.
That's ridiculous talk right now.
No, I can't deal with this.
I can make a case for the Steelers right now.
Can't
They're
deal
the
with this.
number one
Look,
threat to the Chiefs. But you
all
know
I
what?
wanna
I'm not
say-
going to do that. You know why I'm not going to do that? Because I said Houston from the very
No.
beginning. You guys freaking ridiculed me.
Yeah.
And I'm
They're 7-4. Who cares?
guess what? I'm like Robert Saleh. I'm keeping receipts
Do it.
for your shit.
I
You
hope
gave
you
me
do.
shit
I
in the
hope you do.
preseason.
Do it.
Houston.
Because the question was,
Houston
who's the
is
number
the
one
biggest
contender to
threat.
the Chiefs?
Houston
It's
is
not
the
the
biggest
goddamn
threat.
Texans. It's not the
It's
Texans.
not the Texans.
It's not.
It's not.
That's all the question
Hate to
was.
break it to
Do I
you.
think the Texans are a good team? Yeah, they're pretty good. Okay.
They're
Does
better
that
than
make you
the
feel
Bills.
good?
They're better than
That's
the
where
Bills.
that's where we're being stupid.
no.
That's where we're
You know
being
why?
stupid.
Tanner, did they not beat the
Oh, yeah.
Bills?
There you go. Scott's got one for you, man. Look, he thinks the Panthers will beat the Super Bowl this year. They're going to go on a run.
Panthers going to run. Bryce
Same as
Young.
the Browns.
I don't
Same
have
as the
anything to say
Browns.
Bryce
about
Young
that.
figures it out. All of a sudden,
I don't have anything to say about that.
They go
All
on
I
a
know
run.
is the Texans beat the Bills.
It doesn't
So-
I don't
matter.
care.
I don't care
Don't
about
care
that.
about that.
So
No one
by,
cares about
by
that.
your definition, you said that the Bills are the number one contender to the Chiefs because they beat the Chiefs.
No, I said that before they beat the Chiefs.
But then Houston
I said,
beat,
who's the only one that's proven to this point
but then Houston beat the Bills.
to have proven me right? If you literally beat the number one team in the NFL, obviously I'm on pace to be correct about my assumption.
But you think Houston is a piece of shit, but they beat the Bills.
I never said they're a piece of shit.
That doesn't make any sense.
I told you they're a pretty good team.
They're not pretty.
I like
they're
the Texans.
not. But they're not pretty good.
Yeah,
they're the
decent.
number one contender
They
to
are
the
not.
Chiefs.
Stop
All right.
this. This is ridiculous. They are not the number one contender.
Ball at your ass.
So you're basically saying that the Bills suck because they lost to Houston. That's the whole.
Lord.
That's his whole thesis of this whole argument.
Yeah,
Look,
we'll see
that
later
Mike
this year.
Mike thinks
Yep.
the Bills suck because they lost to Houston,
gonna-
which is a shitty team.
I'm going to give you.
Did I get that right?
Tanner, I'm
Did I
going to
get
give you
that
the
right?
Steelers. Good team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looks to be a strong team.
But
They do.
he and I
They're a
agreed on
contender.
that shit.
Yes.
I agree.
I love Houston. I love Houston. No,
Steelers look to be a pretty good team.
love
That's a
the
good team.
I'm
Watch
worried
them.
about the Steelers.
You know, Chargers. What do you think of the Chargers?
I'm not buying it yet, man.
Okay.
I can't buy it yet. I have
Hit me right there, dude.
I haven't
hit me
sold
right
the
there.
Chargers yet.
Ravens. You still like the Ravens, huh? You like the Ravens.
I'm not
That
at the
hurts.
number one contender spot.
That hurts.
No, I'm not. I'm not. The Ravens blew it the last
So your number
few
one
weeks.
contender is now the Steelers.
Steelers.
So he went from Ravens now to Steelers.
I would actually take Steelers number 2, the number 2 contender to the Chiefs, behind Houston.
I'm not.
Behind Houston. Well, that's only because you don't have the balls, Tanner. I
I'm
just
not
laid
picking
out.
Houston. Houston's the fakest 7-win team out there now.
I laid out the case. You know, you guys, you can talk about it for a
Jesus,
full
dude.
week, man. I'm not going to go back on my word on
They're a
you.
really cute wild card team. All right,
yeah.
that's what I give you.
Oh well, thank you for
They're real
that.
cute.
You said they're a cute team.
Cute wild card team.
I
Yeah.
feel better about my argument now.
Yeah. All right, you guys done with that?
I'm
Did you
good.
say what you needed to say? God damn it!
I'm good.
Dude, you just hit me in the tit with this freaking
You
ball.
deserve to have a fucking ball thrown at you. That's why.
You just hit me in the tit with this, and it actually hurts. It hurts right here.
AFC order.
It's a Kong.
Oh,
It's a Kong ball.
so Scott
You hit me
Cobb.
right in the tits.
So Scott Cobb has.
Do you not feel sorry? Do you not feel bad about that? That hurts.
when you change your opinion on the Texans, then we can discuss that.
Yeah. So the Scott Cobb says the AFC order. The AFC order is Chiefs, Steelers, Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chargers. See how far the Texans are?
I don't care,
The
man.
cute wild card team.
They're all the same, man. All those teams are the same.
All right,
Good lord.
you ready?
All right, let's move along, Tanner.
All right, let's get into it, guys. Here, it's our favorite segment, of course. as
Ooh,
we
it's
do
gonna
it
get
every
ugly.
year.
It's gonna get ugly.
Oh.
It's our easy money bet of the week, baby.
Easy money bet of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the recap from last week here, and it was I think we went 500 in this one. So let's dig into it here for recap. JG with the Bengals money line. I need to insert some fart noises on the soundboard here because that did not happen against the Chargers. So he is now 2-9-1.
It's basically like what 91% for the
Pretty
year.
close,
That's pretty
man.
good, man.
Pretty close. Mike had Bengals plus 1.5. That did not hit, but hits Baltimore Pitt under 48.5 did hit.
So we went 50-50 on that.
Yeah, you went
for the week.
50-50 there. That puts Mike
Not
at
great.
10-5 this so far this season there. And then myself here, I went 3-2. I lost my Oregon State. By the way, what the hell at Oregon State happened there? But we won't get into it. And then Winnipeg, I shouldn't have bet that back-to-back game there. But we did hit the Arizona over Houston -1. We did hit the Boise State -13.5, and we did hit the Detroit Lions at -13. So that puts me at a 18-14 for the year. Puts our Buffoon total at 30-28-1, and we have a 51.72% winning percentage. And if you don't include JG's, we're at a 59%.
Oh wow,
All right.
that's pretty good, man.
I still think, JG, I'm not losing total faith in you here, but I still think with a good run here towards the end of the season, we still got quite a few weeks left
Is that a
before
week?
the end.
Yeah.
Plus, we're going to do playoffs.
We got a whole
Plus,
month.
we got playoffs.
Yeah, we got a whole month and a half, 2
I mean,
months.
hell, we got end of January before we wrap it up. So we still got a ways to go for the easy money picks. So
Yep.
so look, right now we're at the halfway mark. Think about it.
I'm gonna start going opposite of myself, and then start losing even more, probably.
Well, yeah, right. It's like Baccarat. As soon as you switch,
Yeah,
then
switch.
the board switches on you.
You have to start betting against yourself.
Yeah, start betting against yourself. All of a sudden, you start going to streak. Right. All right. Well, let's dig into them. JG, do you want to go first?
Absolutely, man.
All right.
That was a crusher, man. You and I both took the Bengals last week against the Chargers. That was a tough game.
Weird one
for the Bengals, man. I mean, I felt like they had to win. I mean, technically they're still mathematically in it here, but that was brutal.
They had
I mean,
a chance
I feel
at
like
the end.
the Chargers. I mean, I feel like honestly, I don't like to talk about luck very often. I like to talk about skill, but I feel like the Chargers got lucky in that game. So, my easy money bet of the week. I'm looking at this Baltimore game. Baltimore is minus 2.5 at the Chargers, and I feel like at this point the Chargers should be getting pretty cocky right now because they just beat a pretty decent team in the Cincinnati Bengals. So I'm going to go Baltimore here. Baltimore's been disrespected by me and everybody else this year because, honestly, they're not that good of a team. But I am going to take Baltimore to cover here in this game at the Chargers. So I'm going to take Baltimore minus 2.5, and the Chargers are going to get dealt their 4th loss of the season.
All
right. I think I only have one this week for you guys. All right. Next week I'll come back with 2. Don't worry, I'll have 2 for you. But this week I just found one that I really liked here on DraftKings. If you have a better one, let me know, Tanner. But we got Patriots and Dolphins at Miami in this game. The over/under is 46. And I think that's a little too high. I think we're going to go the under again. You guys know I've been all about the unders this year. For whatever reason, I just enjoyed the unders. But, yeah, the Dolphins are going to take care of business, and I think it's going to be over with pretty early in this game.
Ooh, no, never mind. Wait. Hold on, Mike. Hold on.
You got a 46.5.
46.5. Let's go.
We got one?
FanDuel.
FanDuel, huh?
Yep.
FanDuel, 46.5.
For once, they actually look good, so.
Yeah, so I like that a lot. Take the 46.5 then.
it.
Patriots and Dolphins. I like it to be under a bit. I think the Dolphins are still trying to get their legs underneath them a little bit again after Tua being out for a while. I just feel like it's still something's a little bit off. This game will get them back right to a degree, but the Patriots are just kind of a disaster right now. Offensively, it's an ugly team, and I don't know, man. Give me the Dolphins. That's my pick of the week.
All right, sounds good.
Putting in $500 on that one.
Sounds good here. Scott Cope says his easy money bet will win him $8K in fantasy this week. So hopefully he can get that. He also says minus 10.5 Washington over the Dallas Cowgirls. So
is he doing a parlay?
No, he actually has a fantasy football big league like that. So
with him $8K on one bet.
As long as he wins fantasy.
Wins fantasy this week.
Yeah.
$8K, damn.
Yeah. So
hey, if you make that money, man, I know something you can put that money into and invest. I know something for you to invest in after that.
It's called Pepe.
Oh, no!
Last time I checked, it was called Pepe.
All right.
Peanut the squirrel.
Let's get back into focus, guys. We get easy money bets here. We'll start here tomorrow night, Thursday night here. We have a matchup of Pittsburgh going to Cleveland. We're going Pitt, minus 3.5 here in the spread here. I love this one. I don't see Cleveland really competing too much with Pittsburgh, but I think they at least win by a touchdown. So give me Pitt minus 3.5. Then we move over to Saturday, of course. A team that is being disrespected by the college football playoffs and then go suck something there on their way to do the brackets. Give me SMU minus 9 for that game. And then also we're also going to take James Madison at minus 7 also on Saturday. No Army, guys. I decided after watching Notre Dame it's not worth it. But it is going to be a great game, so make sure you tune in the Army Notre Dame game. And then Sunday. We have one team here that has won me a lot of easy money bets and only lost me one. So give me Detroit minus 7.5. Look at them to spank them this week here. So we got Jason with the Baltimore minus 2.5. We have Monday Night Football, by the way. We got Mike with Pat's Dolphins under 46.5 on Sunday. And then you have myself tomorrow night, Pitt minus 3.5. You got Saturday, SMU minus 9, James Madison minus 7. And then Detroit on Sunday, minus 7.5. Let's get some good dubs.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good then, Tanner. I think all that could work.
Yeah, I think we can get back in
don't know if
closer
I-
to that 60 mark.
Yeah, well, that's the goal, obviously. But yeah, if we can go, could we do a parlay out of that? You think you'd do a parlay out of
I
our
would.
picks?
I don't know about the Baltimore one.
Baltimore one thrown out, the JG one.
I don't know about
go
the
opposite of JG parlay.
I don't know
think
about yours
Tanner.
either.
I think
I'm not
Tanner should
confident
do
on
a
that one, so.
parlay with
I would
Ethereum
do
and
mine.
Solana. I think that's what Tanner should do. If you parlay
Ooh,
that
if you
with
parlay them-
Ethereum and Solana, you might do pretty well.
Yeah, and make a little bit of money, I guess. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Sorry, guys, I can't buy any coins this week because I've raided my bank account of pretty much
You've
all
been
of my money. But I've
buying
got
some
more.
coins.
Oh, Scott.
I've got more money
it's
coming in,
Indiana
but I gotta.
plus 14.5.
You guys, I'm gonna be gone
over
next
Ohio
week.
State.
Hold on.
I'm gonna be gone next week on holiday, so we'll reconvene on the crypto. Unless Mike, you could buy some coins next week while I'm gone. If you
we'll
would
see.
like to give them some good
Well,
advice.
we're almost done with buying season, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Buying season is about over, so we'll see what's going on at the market.
Coins are still cheap. You could still give them some
Well,
advice
but
next
a lot
week.
of coins went down today, so actually today might be a good day to buy some. But
Yeah.
what'd you say about Indiana or something, Tanner?
Oh, Scott said he loves the Indiana plus 14.5 over Ohio State. I
We'll
don't know,
see.
man.
We'll
I'm
see.
staying away from that matchup, man.
We'll see. Indiana on paper, I suppose, with the record and everything, looks all right. But
They struggled against Michigan, and that was my worry. If they would have blown out Michigan, I would totally take that bet. But they did not blow out Michigan, and that's a big worry for
I'm
me.
rooting for them because it's just
I
kind
am
of fun
too.
to watch. But like, I don't really have faith in it.
Yeah,
I'll put it that way.
yeah.
This could be the one that's a big sucker, I guess.
I don't see. Do we have any other big games really on Saturday? Not really, right? Like that was
we're coming down
Army Notre
Down
Dame
the
would
wire
be
for the
one.
playoffs now. It's about that time.
It's getting there, man. There's a lot teams on the outside that possibly should be recognized being on the inside. So
Yeah.
Man.
All right. Well,
KU Colorado.
so JG is going to be gone next week. So Tanner, sounds like it'll be you and I before Thanksgiving. It sounds like.
Yeah. I'll do our Thanksgiving
We're-
show.
That
Your
might be
guys'
that's going to be your last show to get in some coins and give some good advice to the audience. So
good advice for the coins.
for the coins,
Oh.
and free bets and
Well,
whatever,
maybe, you know.
easy money bet of the week, all that stuff.
Well, I don't know if it's the last for all of that. But I mean, it'll be a show, but I don't know if it's the last for all of
Well,
those things.
you guys, your easy money bets are going to turn to shit coins after Thanksgiving, and then that's when I'm going to pump. I'm going to pump because I've been bad for so long. I'm going to go ape shit.
Is that what's going to happen?
You're due
Pretty
for
much.
something. I would say that. Due for something. So that's what I. As soon as JG last week matched my pick last week, I should have immediately switched.
Yeah, immediately.
I should have switched
dude. Yeah.
immediately because I went first and then you went.
But he didn't know. That was totally authentic.
Yeah, I went
he did
first.
not know that I was going to do that shit.
Whenever you went, I should have been like,
Yeah,
never
you
mind.
should have been.
Never mind.
Yeah, bet on the Chargers, dude.
Oh God. All right.
Oh man.
Well, Tanner, any Thanksgiving plans we need to know about?
I think Tanner
wanted.
wanted to talk about. You want to
Thanksgiving
touch
plan-
on?
We got a show next week still, don't we?
Well, yeah,
So what are we talking about Thanksgiving now?
Tanner, I thought you wanted to
because
touch.
he brought it up. I don't know.
You wanted to touch on the Philadelphia 76ers team meeting that they just had. Yesterday.
Paul George hyperextended knee again. Same injury he had earlier this season. So no timetable yet, but that's huge, man.
So what do you think about Tyrese Maxey calling out Joel Embiid in a team meeting for being late? This is basically, you know why I'm bringing this up is because, Tanner, you and I have been friends for a long-ass time, dude. Dude, you're freaking late wherever we go. So anytime I plan an event with this guy, he's freaking late. Anytime I want to show up somewhere, I have to assume that Tanner's going to be 30 minutes to an hour late, maybe an hour and a half.
The hell?
So this is exactly what happened in the Philadelphia 76ers team meeting. Tyrese Maxey called out Joel Embiid for being late, basically to all events related to the team. And it somehow got out into the public. And I actually like it, man, because I think that Tyrese Maxey is the future of that team. And I totally respect it. And I think, honestly, like Joel Embiid probably respects it. But what do you think this is going to help the Sixers going forward this season?
Oh,
or do you not
no.
think it matters because Paul George is out anyway?
It was already over for
That's
them.
over.
So, yeah, Joel Embiid can't play back-to-backs. It seems like he can barely play anyways. for the most part. Like, unless they just like limit his minutes while he's on the court as much as possible, and you somehow still make it to the playoffs, that's your only hope. It's dude, this team right now, 76ers, that is such an out of here team. Like, don't even worry about them.
I told them actually on this show to cut bait with Joel Embiid a long time ago.
They should have.
And you know what they did? They did the exact opposite of that. They brought in PG-13.
Yeah.
So,
trade and everything.
If we can get to the point where PG-13 is healthy, Joel Embiid is healthy, they're all playing like MVPs, then you trade both of those rat bastards and get some assets. You got to reset right now because Tyrese Maxey is going to be a top 5 player in the league.
Trading Paul George right now, so because he ain't even going to play.
Tyrese Maxey is going to be a top 5 player in the league if he's not already. And you've got to trade. You got to get rid of these guys, man. You got to get rid of Joel Embiid, Paul George. I mean, these guys are has-beens. Like they're not going to do anything.
They got to hit the reset button, man. It's
have to.
Like Tyrese Maxey's your guy, but like you got to hit the reset button. This is not good for the 76ers. And now, like I said, not good for that locker room. And now you lose Paul George on a hyper overextended knee. Like it's not good, man.
I would trade everybody, man.
I would too.
I mean,
I would too.
Keep Tyrese Maxey and just trade the farm because that team sucks.
Your GM.
That team sucks.
Tell him to go back with
But
Harden.
that was a fugazi because we're not allowed to talk about the NBA in the month of November. So that actually didn't happen right now.
Good matchup coming up here next Tuesday, guys.
Or what?
Duke KU. College basketball.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Duke KU, college basketball.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
That's going to be a good man.
Glad you're excited, Tanner.
Cooper Flagg. Going
Cooper
against
who?
Cooper Flagg.
Oh.
He's the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys,
Jesus
Cooper Flagg.
Okay. Well.
Something like that.
Well, I'm glad we can have Troy on the show for that if you want.
We should.
You want to have Troy on the show, Tanner, for that one?
We need to bring him on.
For the game?
On Tuesday night?
Yeah, Tuesday night have on the show?
No. I'm going to text him, though. On this here. Scott Cope says, stay tuned for JG After Dark tonight on the Buffoons Network.
Oh, God.
Featuring bath towel stories.
Yep. It's Brown, man.
That's something we could do. Like, if we ever did like a midnight show, it'd get real weird, man.
After we've been drinking or what?
Pretty soon I'm not going to be drinking at all. But yeah. But
I don't know about that one, Scott.
We'll see. Honestly, though, like I probably tell better stories when I'm not drinking. You can remember everything better.
We could play a Madden series.
Play Madden? What?
Yeah.
What do I play Madden?
We play live Madden on live and just chat around.
Oh, tell weird stories?
Yeah. Have JG tell us a whole bunch of weird stuff.
I told a story earlier to somebody about somebody brought up the outhouse.
Out there
by Lawrence. Someone's been asking about it.
It's a great place.
Somebody was asking about it?
One time an Asian stripper bit my dick through my basketball shorts at the outhouse.
I believe it.
And I was actually not happy about it because, like,
I wasn't either.
First of all, that wasn't the one I wanted. A buddy of mine bought it for me. And I'm like, I'm never wearing basketball shorts to a strip club ever again.
Everything is legal at that place. If
you do whatever you want.
If something ever happens and you want to hire an attorney, good luck because whatever happens out there stays out there. It's just you're not going to accuse anybody of anything at that place.
All right.
That's a little preview of some possible stories down the road, I guess.
Let's get out of here, boys.
Late night Tanner talk when all the lights are off.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you just see his face. You can't see anything else or what he's doing. The little dungeon room down here in Mom's basement. Oh, that's good stuff.
What's the matter,
hey,
Tanner? What's the matter, Tanner? You ready to go? You want to go to sleep? Tanner, you want to go sleep and have dreams about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns? Is that why we need to go?
I just need you to keep dreaming about Houston, man.
All right. Time to get out of here then. I got to watch Bitcoin hit 96,000. All right. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got to say for today. I'll see you all in the next one.
Outro. See you guys.